Why would you make this?
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for listening. This is Why Would You Make This? Season 3, The Asylum Years, the only podcast to subject itself to some of the worst media known to man while claiming it can't find the source of its depression, which makes you ask the question, why would you make this? I am Jimmy Time. I am not joined by my usual co-host for this season, Brother Skyla. He watched the episode and then immediately became ill and was having trouble standing up. But I am joined by J Delta Wagwan.
Wagwan. I wish I thought of that excuse. Oh my god.
I can't believe that you are the known proprietor of Delta's Get Out of Work Chicken.
I know.
And you're still here. All right, during season 3, we are taking you through National Wrestling Alliance Total Nonstop Action weekly pay-per-view shows now known as TNA The Asylum Years. This episode was pay-per-view number 6, which aired July 24th, 2002 from the Fairgrounds Coliseum in Nashville, Tennessee, which is now known as The Asylum. Or for that time, or sometime. You know what, maybe it's not. Never mind, I forget about that. Right now, this company, NWA TNA, is plus $2 million in the red.
Oh.
Yeah, it is not going well for them. I don't know about you, but the last pay-per-view left us confused about the motives of the characters and the direction of the company.
I'm sure this episode changes that. Everything will be totally clear after this.
Well, just in case it isn't clear, let's talk to you about our crazy past.
Wait a minute. What happened that got you so crazy?
The original midget killer Puppet the Psycho Dwarf wants the show to start with midget wrestling, but has since settled for making midgets bleed because they're stealing his screen time, but sometimes he's too tired to care. Next, Alicia keeps demanding money from men, but sometimes they're not upset about it. Next, not an athlete, K Crush, does not like hearing about race car driving, but was humiliated by NASCAR driver Hermie Sadler every time it was mentioned. He has since decided he is a star, and he is the truth. He has also started hanging people.
Yeah. Norman Smiley and Scott Hall.
Next, Taylor Vaughn is Miss TNA. However, other women are being booked more than her, like Francine. Also, we have not seen Taylor Vaughn since the 3rd episode.
Who is this?
I'm glad you're picking up the slack for Brother Skylar, who's not here, not knowing who this woman is, which is perfectly fine, because again, it has been 3 episodes since we've seen her. Like, it is a brand new... Yeah, I don't know who this woman is. Again, though, she was BB, the famous large-breasted paramedic from that era in WWE. Yeah, like, I was watching some stuff. She was just around for a while as a cat, like, just there.
Just in the background.
Like, literally, like, we need paramedics. Okay, here she and other paramedics come. Let's not draw attention to her. Let's not point out that, oh, there's BB, we all know her. No, just, this will set up down the road something.
Yeah.
Don't mention it.
And until then, you know, she was a friend and, you know, it's an easy paycheck for her every week.
I guess, yeah. Oh, man. Speaking of easy paycheck, Ed Ferrara keeps touching Francine's boob. Sometimes because she makes him. Regardless, Francine keeps beating him with her belt. However, when Francine was DDT'd by the Blue Meanie and left possibly paralyzed, Ed showed genuine concern, or he was just trying to look down her bra. It's really still 50-50.
Yeah.
All right, next is the tag division. Buff Bagwell has gone home to rethink his career, or maybe just he went home for the day, although that happened on the 3rd episode as well, and he is not showing up, so I'm thinking it's a career thing. Next, the Dups will fuck their own sister/cousin, but won't wrestle guys who fuck other men/their own brother, or although maybe they just don't want to wrestle at all. Because they seem to just be sitting around in the back.
In the back.
Yeah.
Getting interviewed by Goldie.
Yeah, playing with fire, fucking themselves. I just want to clarify something, which is that I said that this is the last time we see the Dups wrestle. and I want to be clear that was as a team. That's the last time we see the
I
team of
see.
Adopt Wrestle, which because
Yeah.
you and I watched this episode, so we understand that. But yes, and then also some things I failed to mention in the last episode. What I mean, it was kind of obvious, but I want to make it clear that the last episode, episode 5, was the last time that we will see Stand Up, Puppet, Meatball, Francine, and Jasmine St. Clair wrestle.
Wow.
Yeah. So, like, if you remember from the last episode when Francine and Jasmine St. Clair and the whole DDT
Did a
thing,
whole...
yeah,
That's
you'll never see something from that.
No resolution.
That's over. I also, unfortunately, I wish Brother Sky was here to express something about this, but I don't think, because they lost a lot of money, they had to switch venues, they got rid of a lot of talent. I don't think we're ever going to see Alicia again.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever see her again.
Mm.
That's done, I think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's done. All right, continuing on with the tag division still. We're still in the tag division. Who beat Cowboy James Storm and Wildcat Chris Harris to a bloody pulp on the 3rd show? Still a mystery.
All right.
Who did that? Also, next, is AJ Styles a glory hog, or is Jerry Lynn a disrespectful pervert? Next is the X Division. The Flying Elvises are the X Division, even if they have to take it by force. But also, maybe that might just apply to Sonny Siaki, because he doesn't really seem to care about his team.
Yeah, I mean, he makes it very obvious that they stuck me with this gimmick. And let's be for real, I'm the one who stands out in this crew.
Only because you're the only one talking about it.
Yeah.
Next in the world title division, if you will, Brian Christopher has won the unofficial title of The Real Athlete, but has since dropped it and his name and his hip-hop gimmick to be known as Brian Lawler, a name chosen to distinguish himself from his father, Jerry Lawler. Or maybe he hasn't.
Maybe just ignore what I said.
Yeah, because he's still walking around with the jacket and talking about his father a lot.
Look, he's not going to pay for new ring gear or think of new stuff to do.
But also, he did. Spoiler alert. Next, Monty Brown wants Ken Shamrock's NWA title, and Ken Shamrock has responded by saying, "Make it official and you're on." That was the 3rd. I guess he could make it official.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't have that power to make it official.
I guess we'll give it some more time. Next, James Mitchell wants to control the NWA heavyweight title as per the request of his God, who may or may not be himself. But apparently, tasting blood is more important than achieving control.
Yeah.
Because he had it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, ooh, but blood tastes good.
I mean, look, we already have the number 1 contendership shot. Let's just offer it up.
Let's give it up. Yeah. Next, Scott Hall was put on and then chair-shotted off of a stretcher
Right.
by Brian Lawler, K-Crush, and Jeff Jarrett, and Hall has promised to take them all out one by one. But he was then put on and chair-shotted off a stretcher again, so I don't know what his plan is now.
Well, he started taking them out, and then he got...
But they all came back. He didn't take them out very well.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He knocked them out with a single punch, and he was like, well, that's that, sir. I taught them a lesson.
It was that old John Wayne, like, I'll just pop him in the nose, Pilgrim, and that's that.
Yeah.
Well, in real life, you walk away, and the guy just shoots you in the spine, and you never walk again.
Takes your wife and kids, and all that stuff. Like, it gets worse from there.
Shoots you in the spine, pulls out his caveman club, clubs your wife in the head,
Oh,
and drags her off to the cave.
Yep. Buries your dog alive. All that's just the worst stuff possible. It's the worst. All right, next and finally, Jeff Jarrett will not be screwed over again like he already has been by Jackie Fargo, Toby Keith, Scott Hall, NWA President Jim Miller, NWA Vice President Bill Behrens, and James Mitchell and the New Church. Also, he might have attempted to kill Jackie Fargo, Jim Miller, Scott Hall, Bill Behrens, and the entire NWA security team.
At least once.
So, it's really 50-50 there. There's a wide conspiracy against him, but also he is on a murderous rampage, and he probably shouldn't be respected anymore. All right, so that's why we are the way we are, because this is what we've sat through so far. Let us start the show. Oh, I miss Brothers Gala. All right, the show opens with Jeff Jarrett in the ring hitting security members with a chair after what we were told was a 5-minute long rant.
How many episodes now, or how many pay-per-views have started with Jarrett just beating someone?
Oh, I don't know, because they also kind of end that way. It's hard to tell.
Just seamlessly blend one right into the other.
Yeah.
This is like the first serialized television storytelling.
So Jarrett promises raw, deafening violence unless Shamrock gives him his NWA title, which is rightfully Jarrett's, as per the case he has been presenting over the past 5 weeks.
And his case is...
It's my title.
I
and
have
you know
a chair.
God, that's my title and you know it. That's his case. Damn you, Barons. Backstage, NWA security corners Ken Shamrock, and he takes them all out with a single punch. I believe Eric Watts tries to stop him with a monologue, but Ken Shamrock tackles him through some tables. Bullet Bob Armstrong and Don Harris try to stop Ken, and Ken basically says, "You know what Jarrett is like. Let me do this my way." But the audio's a little too low, so you can't actually hear what he's saying. It's kind of just a guess. Ken bars the door from the other side, and he has his friend, what I hear is the Iron Brick.
Yeah.
Ian Harrison, and he has him block the door.
Oh, it is all right, I will.
I'm pretty sure his name's actually the Iron Brit, because he's British.
That makes sense.
But also, he is a large meat man, so he could be an iron brick. Like, it's possible. Back in the ring, Bill Behrens tells Jarrett he is suspended for 2 months, and he can leave, or NWA security can drag him out. But Bill doesn't know Ken Shamrock just locked them all in a room. A no forearm chair shot to Bill Behrens' head.
Yo, Bill also does not know. If someone goes to suspended fire, you can just knock them unconscious so they forget that ever happened.
Yo, the whole time, from the second Bill Behrens walked out, the crowd was like, "Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!" And then boom, no armchair shot.
Yeah.
Yo, like the Coliseum with the Romans and the Lions, that whole reference, that thing was happening. You get it better than I do. I just know how to use it. Ken Shamrock enters the ring in sandals and beats down Jarrett. The alpha male, Monty Brown, and Apollo, with one L, run in and hold Shamrock back to calm him down. But Jarrett hits a no forearm chair shot to Shamrock.
Yeah.
And then Brian Lawler and K-Crush enter to calm Jarrett down. Jarrett shouts something about his title to commentary, but again, we can't hear it. It's way too low. Probably like how it's his title, something like that. Not going to try to break this up in any way. Full segment length, 6 minutes, 37 seconds. Your thoughts?
It's a mess. Every TNA pay-per-view start with a brawl. Put Jarrett in a brawl, have him fight people, start and end the show, chair shots and brawl and chair shots and kill Bill Behrens, and
The crowd was so happy.
like, I could be wrong, but didn't Jarrett get suspended or fined or fired 2 pay-per-views ago? Like, every pay-per-view ends with them, "You can't do that," and
I'm like,
you can't do that. Yes, I can. I'm Jeff Jarrett. I'll do what I want. Bang, 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 bang. Chair shot. Everybody's dead.
right.
All right. Cut. Reset the stage. Reshoot the next episode. Same opening. Keep it the same. You know what? Reshoot it again one more time. We'll throw it in as the finish, too.
I mean, at least he has a consistent character. Like, he's the only guy who has one. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how he has a job at this point, like, show-wise.
Is this like, kayfabe what? Jeff Jarrett is shoot hurt and can't wrestle a match, so they're like, well, just beat people up so we can keep paying you to be
Oh,
here.
yeah, shoot, maybe. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, man, because he still does sometimes wrestle.
Does
He
he?
did the Shamrock. Not that he did the Yeah, he fought against Scott Hall, and he did that tag match and stuff. Like, it was the early match. It was like 3 or 4 episode he did.
All right. We've been like 3 pay-per-views where he hasn't done it.
All right, yeah, whatever. But yeah, that's the whatever. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know why these.
We took one of our top guys from WCW, and we're gonna have him never wrestle.
Wrestle.
Just assault non-wrestlers.
Angry, yeah. Well, that's what you do when you're the boss.
Oh,
You give yourself 20-minute promos and never touch a mat.
yeah.
My thoughts on this are that we've already seen Ken Shamrock be put into a neck brace and then wrestle later on that night.
Oh yeah.
So he's fine. He's gonna wrestle. Like, whenever there's a match, he'll be in it. It's fine. And then just another sign as to how much TNA has fallen, where last week they had 15 plus guys come down the ramp and bam, 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 and more guys, bam, bam. This, whoo,
two guys.
two guys outside to stop Shamrock, and that's it. And then 8 of them were locked in that room.
Yeah.
And that's 10. That's all 10. And that's your security. And I think one of those guys included the chief of security. So it's like you have a team of 9 and your boss is working. Like, that's...
Yeah. Budgets of cuts, very obvious this episode. Everything between the last episode and this one, I really, you can tell budget cuts.
When the show
galore.
opened up and Jarrett was hitting the cigars with chairs, I was like, I guess TNA has house shows going and this is footage from that?
Yeah.
And then TNA started doing commentary and I was like, oh no.
It got bad quick.
It got bad, yeah. All right, segment 2. TNA welcomes us and recaps the deranged one, Jeff Jarrett, who has knocked out Bill Behrens because of his lack of respect for authority and his lack of respect for NWA. Ed says he'd love to see someone enforce Jarrett's suspension with no security and the VP unconscious. And then we also get mentioned ladder versus submission, Sabu versus Shamrock. Will Shamrock make it? Don mentions that Sabu went through a lot last week with Malice, so maybe he's not 100% either. And then, of course, finally, Jerry Lynn and AJ Styles. Are they a team or are they enemies this week?
I mean, I would think full-blown enemies since last week we saw them murdering each other.
Right.
But, you know, that would just be assuming logic.
That's true.
Guess we'll see what happens.
Full segment length, 1 minute and 41 seconds. Let me just get that in there real quick. I know that this is how, like, fighting sports works. A man gets punched in the face or kicked unconscious, and then the crowd roars. And,
Yeah.
you know, and then they drag a bloody corpse away, and they do some paperwork like it didn't happen. Well, this next tale, these men are 5'5". They come from Sarasota, and you're like, he's still dead. He's still, get him a doctor. Like, but yeah, that's how it works. Like,
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've really seen it that way, because usually wrestling these days are presented less violently.
Yeah, it's you know, we've talked about it a little bit. Like, this is totally of that era where everything's like, we're post ECW, so things got to be pushing the edge. They got to be.
Yeah.
But it's turned up to where it's, you know, every match. Oh, somebody has to die, but then we just have to pretend someone didn't die last match.
Yeah, I think like Lance Storm was talking about it, how it's like a wave where it's like, you know, people say wrestling's fake, and so then the kids like try hard to prove it's not fake, and then they start killing each other, and
Yeah.
and then wrestling's real, and people are like, Jesus Christ, I don't want to see that. And then they start having to do all these crazy flips again and jumps and splashes, and everybody comes out dressed like the clown, and they go, oh, that's fake stuff, who cares? And then they gotta kick
Kill
you
him again.
Yeah, let me jump off this roof and kick you. And then, I don't know, man. Lost a lot of money. So they're not wearing a lot this week.
Yeah.
Because, Don is wearing just a red polo button-up shirt. Like, it's...
Ed Ferraro does not look nearly as fancy as he did a week ago.
No, but apparently these are maybe all of his own clothes. So, like, I think we're in that period where this is what this is him. This is just him.
No wardrobe budget, baby.
No, it's all him. All right, so anyway, segment 3, The Amazing Red versus Low Key. There's a lot going on here. It's a nice match. There's quick attacks. These guys really seem to know how to work together. I kind of have trouble enjoying the match because Low Key's tape fingers, they keep flying off in the ring, and the ref just leaves them there.
That's what I kept noticing, things flying off, but then, I don't know, it was 7 minutes into the match, I saw him spit his gum out, and I was like, all right, so it wasn't gum all the other times, so it wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was a little distracting, and then plus, I keep noticing it throughout this show, is that the refs don't care. They just leave stuff in their ring and let the wrestlers roll on it.
The refs are shit.
It's man, I wish Brother Scott was here to just he would curse their names in ways I couldn't think of. Of course, TNA mentions the one of two things that we know about Low Key, which is that his name comes from a Blackstreet song, an R&B group so old nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They disbanded, I believe, before we graduated high school.
Ooh.
Although they also got back together because money is needed in some places. We get, just to speed this along, we get big pops for a Tree of Woe Dragon Sleeper, a Code Red, a Satellite DDT, a Mist Infrared, but still good, and basically the whole match.
Yeah.
Lots of kicks and footwork. They say it's sort of like if wrestling meets a Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee movie. What?
Nothing. I'll wait. I'll wait to comment on the actual wrestling, but I just couldn't look at my notes because there's one distinct note, and I remember as soon as I read it, that baby in the crowd has an unsupported head. Because I started watching, I'm paying attention to the match, and I'm loving it. You know, I'm enjoying the high spots. And directly, but almost just off center behind in the crowd, 4 rows back, there's a dude with maybe a 3-month-old baby just sitting on his lap. And I'm like, ooh, that baby's awfully young. And the baby's head just goes rant and falls to a 90-degree angle. Because that baby is way too young to be sitting on that dude's lap with an unsupported head. It was hard to watch.
Oof.
Luckily, I had this match to entertain me throughout, but go ahead.
Well, that's the end, really. Key Crusher 99 gets the 3. Low Key wins. Match length, 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Full segment, 9 minutes. Your thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed this match. My big problem is I feel like Low Key is, he's overselling everything Red does.
Yeah.
To the point where you're not doing anybody any favors. He's selling for Red more than he sold in the X Division match, against everybody else.
Yeah. Low Key's really doing his own thing out there.
He really is.
He's really doing his own thing. And sometimes it's awesome, but sometimes it's you're not helping yourself.
Dude, I watch him on offense, and I'm like, ooh, I believe his kicks. I believe his this. And he hypes up and he does the weird video game thing to set up for a skit. I'm into all of that. Yeah. And then he takes a shot and he sells, and I go, why?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's so famous. He's getting booked everywhere, so it's working for him.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't see him anywhere.
Yeah.
He's probably in Japan.
I just thought he retired.
I mean, it could be that. It could be that he's not wanted in the country anymore. I don't know. It could be either or. I'm getting...
What do I look like? A professional who does research?
No, I don't even know if he's alive. I don't care. I think last I heard, he might have been an anti-masker. Didn't research it, not sure. Heard it through rumor. Good enough for me. Hate his guts.
I didn't even hear it through rumor. I just thought, man, what if Low Key's an anti-masker?
Might have been a dream. Yeah, who cares? It's true now. I said it. All right. Segment 4. Goldilocks follows Jeff Jarrett to the barricaded door, and he tells Joe Steroid to move because he's looking for Shamrock. The Iron Brit Ian Harrison calls Jarrett a Nashville wanker and challenges him to a fight. Jarrett says, okay, but on my time we will, and then leaves. Segment length 27 seconds. My thoughts were, I didn't get it. I didn't like it.
I just want to make sure. Jarrett left that room and barricaded it. Right?
No, Shamrock did. Shamrock.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I apologize. Shamrock left that room and barricaded it.
Yes.
And then left the Iron Brit in charge to watch the door he did.
Yeah.
And Jarrett came and was like, Is Shamrock hiding behind that barricaded door?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure we've established a clear timeline as to what's happened so far. But
Yeah.
yes, my thoughts again.
Oh,
What?
yeah, I should clarify that because that's a good point. There is no Titantron, so Jarrett could not see that happen.
Oh, right. Yes.
Which begs the question: how would Jarrett have known that there was no security, or how would have commentary known that there was no security?
Well, they have a little monitor, so commentary can watch.
I refuse to believe they can afford monitors. You could have said they have a walkie-talkie with Goldilocks, and I would have been like, okay, you might, Rabbit, you might, but no.
There's someone at home watching the pay-per-view going, guys, backstage, it looks like Ken Shamrock's in a fight in a room, but I can't really tell. I've never been to that arena before.
Yeah, I buy that. Because then it ups the buys. If they buy their own pay-per-view, it helps them out. Segment 5, the Hot Shots enter, and the crowd knows something we don't, because a lot of them, some of them chant, Hot Shots suck, Hot Shot. I was like, I don't even know who these guys are. How do you know they suck? They have a promo where they say what I think is a dick joke.
Do you know what it was? We're proud, we're pricks, and we're prominent, or we're
protruding.
We're protruding.
Yeah, it's like, we're dicks and we're getting erections. I don't know. It's like
I
don't know. Enter Wildcat Chris Harris and Cowboy James Storm, and we go to a video from earlier today. Goldilocks asks Storm and Harris about getting revenge on the men that attacked them and left them a bloody pulp. But Cowboy James Storm is doing a hardcore cowboy shtick. Yeah, doggy. Tell you what, miss. Oh, shucks. And then when Harris confronts him about it, Storm denies it's a gimmick. And Harris is like, enough. Don't bring the cap guns. In the ring, like, I don't know what's going on. I guess because the timing's off, you can hear while the promo's going.
Yeah.
Like, they're, like, taking bumps, and he's shooting off his guns. So, like, first off, he brought his guns. They didn't listen. And second off, I don't know what happened, but, like, I guess they took a bump or something. Because when we come back to the ring, the Hot Shots are up on the ramp, like, holding their backs, like, ooh, like they don't want to wrestle.
Yeah. It seems like they came out hot and did a quick pep. Who knows?
No.
Because production is so bad with TNA.
Yeah.
I feel like they actually specifically try to miss vital shots.
They might have. It's possible they did.
It happens. Actually, it might be in this match later. There's a totally missed, like, significant part of the match. Like, something major happens in the tag match. Maybe it's this one or maybe it's the next one.
Yeah.
The camera just... What happened? We just cut back and people are laying on the ground.
All right, in the match, Storm and Harris have control early on, but the Hot Shots take over and hit a combination sandwich dropkick they call the Sure Shot. Ed asks Tenay, what was the deal with the Hot Shots promo at the start of the match? But Tenay tosses it right back to Ed, and then Ed tosses it right back to Tenay, and then they just drop it. Even they don't know.
Yo, I can't even pretend that was a good promo.
Yeah. Usually when you bring that up, it's to put over the guys, but that was legit. Ooh. They were like, hey, Tenay, you have info. What was that? And he was like, no, you. Like, what do you want me?
I'm not sticking up for that shit.
The Hot Shot drop combination assisted stun gun into a German suplex is followed by a moonsault that Chase Stevens doesn't get all of because Storm rolls out of the way.
He botches the...
But then also he jumps crooked. So he still kind of hits him a little. Like, the whole thing was a mess.
Yeah, I mean, this whole match reeked of, like, fast, green, sloppy.
Hot tag gets a pop. All four men are in. Stevens goes for a tornado DDT, but Harris turns it into a Northern Lights and gets the 3. Post-match, the Hot Shots attack Storm and Harris and super kick German suplex combo them, and then the Hot Shots beat Storm with the pistol, like with the butt of the pistol, and they stop Harris. Whew. Yo, promo, 15 seconds, interview, minute 25, match. 4 minutes and 18 seconds, but the bell to start the match never rang. Or if it did, we didn't hear it because we were watching a promo or something like that. Post-match, minute 18. Full segment, 9 minutes, 50 seconds. The hot shots did not impress me.
No.
Those are my thoughts. And then also, I don't know what was going on, but I presume that the pistol shots that they gave Storm were so weak that Storm didn't even know he was supposed to sell them.
The first one he sells.
Yeah.
And everything after that, they're clearly doing the like,
Yeah.
they may as well have done the Storm is just no selling it because he doesn't realize. And then maybe like the third one, they hit him, and you get that awkward pause for a second, and then the reaction. Yeah, the whole match, fast, green, sloppy. They were all over the place. I think Harris looks great. Like, he looks like the most competent one in the match.
I cannot believe how, like, where we are today to know that, like, Harris is, in a sense, the Jannetty, if you will. Oh, that's not the best case, considering where Jannetty has gone in his life to compare people to him. Is like, all right, we got to pick a different guy.
Yeah.
Because there's some people who are not the famous of the tag team, but they're still good wrestlers. They haven't fallen off the wagon and tried to, I don't know, have sex with their own daughter and threaten Jamaican women and maybe have buried a man in the Chattahoochee River. I don't know what's going on with that guy. But yeah, I can't believe how good of a wrestler Chris Harris is. And every week I see, I'm like, how is this guy not a champion, like a well-known champion? This is amazing how good he is. How often, like, something will stumble and he will, like, it didn't even happen.
Yeah, he's totally on it.
It is amazing. Segment 6. Goldilocks is backstage with a doctor waiting to get a word on an unconscious Ken Shamrock. Ken wakes up and pushes the doctor against the wall, screaming, "Where's Jared?" The doctor doesn't know, so Ken Shamrock flips a table.
All right.
Full segment length, 29 seconds. Your thoughts? You don't have to have it. Yeah. My thoughts are, I get it. Ken Shamrock is unhinged. He is completely untethered and his rage knows no bounds. We get it. Segment 7, Apollo versus Brian Lawler. Apollo, a Puerto Rican star, former 6-time IWA heavyweight champion, 4-time tag team champion. Memphis' own Brian Lawler. This is all by TNA. This is what he says. He changed his gimmick and his name. No longer a pretender, now a heavyweight contender. I don't know why today felt the need to say that. Brian Lawler has changed his clothes. He has new clothes on. And he changed it. So instead of saying last week how it was too cool with the KR put over the C and the OO, now it's actually cruel, but it's spelled with a K. So it's KREUL. Oh, but for some reason, he still has GMS on the back of his jacket. Grandmaster Sexa, yeah. And GMaster on his, like, chest. I don't know why.
He was really just I'm not buying new gear. Like, I'll just recycle some of the old stuff.
But also, yeah, I am buying new gear. Like, what
is this guy doing?
I don't understand anything about his character, despite the fact that he keeps clear-cut defining it. I'm still left confused.
Yeah. And how does this match happen? Like, in terms of the logic of the show, this match is happening because... Was this previously scheduled, or is this happening because of the kerfuffle at the start of the show, and now where...
Yeah, that was never explained, yeah. I don't know. There is sort of like a faction thing going on there, but...
factions never previously established.
No.
None of these guys have interacted.
And technically still not, despite the fact that there seems to be one forming in a way.
Yeah.
But it still hasn't been made clear that that's what's happening. Yeah. That's weird. I don't know why. Yeah, I didn't even really put that together. I don't know why this is happening. I have no clue.
Why are we here?
Why is any of this happening? Later on, they mentioned that Apollo is like the number 2 contender for the heavyweight title.
Yeah.
So why is he fighting Brian Lawler? All right, so let's start from the beginning. The match starts, and Lawler throws his jacket on at commentary, and they're like, "What? We don't even know what that was about." The crowd chants Jerry's kid, and Lawler might like it. I'm not really sure what emotion he's showing. It's very confusing. Commentary talks about how Brian Lawler wants to distance himself from Jerry Lawler, but then mentions Jerry Lawler like 4 times during the match. This, Brother Skyler's not here, but Slick sucks watch.
So bad.
Yo, Brian Lawler, this is the one that bothered me the most, was Brian Lawler dramatically pulls his necklace off during the match. Like, I'm not fooling around anymore. The necklace comes off and, like, breaks it off. And Slick lets it kind of just bounce around the ring while Brian steps on it and they wrestle over it.
Yeah.
And it's not just a necklace. It is a large, like, pendant. Yeah, like, whoa, like, you know, there's like the size of a fist or something. Like, it's a big hunk of metal. And he just lets it roll around the ring. And then, eventually, Slick picks it up and just tosses it out of the ring like it's trash. Like, it's not Brian's gimmick and he needs it for the future. Like, you know, like, put it in your pocket like you normally... Yo, I don't know who's teaching these refs, but... Whoo, stop.
Yo, let me just take this man's jewelry and toss it in the garbage.
Like...
After letting them trample all over it for 10 minutes.
Yo. Ed says Brian is not playing to the crowd anymore. He's a new man. And then he puts on a chin lock and screams, "Who's the man?" So maybe he is playing to the crowd, huh? Wow. Apollo gains control and hits a super kick, and Brian is bleeding from the mouth. Brian immediately turns it around, and then the crowd starts chanting, "Make him pay! Make him pay!" So Brian decides to dance.
Yeah.
Crowd is a full mixed response, half cheers, half boos. I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. Brian does a full Too Cool dance routine, but stays in control, and then hot dogs with his back to Apollo, and that's the roll up in the 3. Yo. I don't understand what the hell's happening. Gets worse after that. Post-match, Brian walks over to commentary and Don West goes, "Hey, nice job anyway." And Brian smacks Don's headset off and makes Don remember by choking him with 2 hands. "I want you to remember." Match length, 7 minutes, 7 seconds. Post-match, minute 15. Full segment, 11 minutes, 37 seconds. Yo, what the hell did we just watch?
Dude, it is the, like, my only comment for this match is Lawler is shit. Like, he's just trash.
Yeah.
I so can't stand what he doesn't know what he's doing. And it, like, everything he does, he's like, I don't know how to describe. He's like, is this a style? Is Southern Ham? Is that a style? Because dude, every shot he takes, he like turns around and like hams it up to the crowd. Oh, and makes a like scrunched up cartoon face.
That's how you used to work. Yeah,
dude,
it was great.
It's awful,
dude. But you got paid.
Yo, he's so. It's so fun, and like, you know, I can't really tell what's going on with the crowd because there is no like they just cheer or doesn't matter. Like we'll change our minds on the turn of a dime.
Yeah, I think there's something in the next promo. Like, there's something like that. I'm just like, what is going on with this crowd?
And you know, like the laziest, most like incompetent. I'll be up, and then I'm just going to turn my back and go, skiddly-doo, and then you roll me up for the finish.
Yo, like, I don't know if it would help his career, but, like, from this match, I don't know why he's not a clown. Like, he could just be the new Angry Doink. Like, I don't know why. Like, that's what he is, basically.
Yeah.
He just needs, like, a funny head hat thing, like a clown wig or whatever. Yeah, like, instead of a hand hat.
Yeah, funny head hat, like a clown wig.
Yeah, look, I don't know what this guy's doing with his career.
Dude.
But the weird thing is, I feel like he does, because he keeps doing the same thing, so... whatever.
And like, somebody's paying him, and like, they brought him back, and haven't brought other people back. I don't know how this is a draw. I can't believe, like, imagine if I paid this guy for a match, and I saw what he did... I'd be like, all right, well, at least I know we're not bringing him back next show. Great, I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Apparently, TNA was like, well, let's give him 5 more chances.
I can't. Like, maybe his whole career is just like a favor to his dad.
Oh, the kid's awful, but man, his dad was a legend.
We owe his dad a lot.
We
Give the
owe-
kid a job. I don't know, man. I'm just maybe.
I'm just making up excuses.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
More things I might have heard on the internet. Of course, I might have wrote what I heard. I wrote it and then I read it back and I went, yeah, I heard that on the internet. So that's where I put it.
You know, some people on the internet are saying.
It's me. I'm on there. I got a couple of names, so I say it different ways, too. All right. Segment 8. K-Crush enters, and we recap last week when Crush hanged Norman Smiley, and his giant wife was the only one who saved him. Yeah.
Oh, man.
He also hanged Scott Hall, but security stopped that one. I don't know what was going on there. All right, promo time. Crush says that he's not K-Crush. He's the truth. And commentary mentions that he's directly ripping off popular basketball player Allen Iverson.
Oh.
And then camera gets a shot of the Allen Iverson jersey that he's wearing.
Wait, really?
Yes. I very
Wow.
vaguely remember this. Like, it was like a weird time where like, wow, that basketball player is being really loud outside of basketball. What's going on? And he was like, I'm the truth. And people were like, oh, he's going crazy. Okay. But he wasn't. It was the start of something we didn't realize. Crush says he won't listen to their rules anymore. And now it's about one thing only. The truth.
Oh.
As members of the crowd don't really understand what he's saying and
Yeah.
start chanting, anarchy!
Yeah, I heard that too.
Anarchy!
And I was like, what?
We're not gonna live by their rules anymore, man! Anarchy, man!
Yo, this crowd is willing to turn on anybody. Yo, this man talked for 30 seconds and let's overthrow the government. I'm ready. We may as well burn down City Hall and live like Mad Max Kings.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? I heard some guy in a ring tell me to do it.
Yeah. It makes sense. The tickets are only $10. He can't be wrong. Although, when I got there, they still seemed overpriced.
Oh my god. What a rube I was.
But then he gave me the official Rube sticker, and I felt like part of a group. Yeah! So, Crush mentions other famous black athletes who have been taken down by scandals. Allen Iverson, Darryl Strawberry, O.J. Simpson. Ooh. Maybe not. Maybe not that one. Monty Brown enters and says, don't go there. I'm not oppressed, so oppression doesn't exist. They helped me achieve what I have today.
Oh boy.
Ed cannot wait to instigate a fight. The truth might be that he's oppressed, or the truth might be that the truth is terrible. At wrestling specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Crush calls, or I should say the truth, calls Monty Brown and Uncle Tom. They fight, but the alpha bomb lets the alpha male walk out the winner of that argument. Full segment length, 10 minutes. My thoughts about this are that Russo is a monster.
Yo.
He's a full-on monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's yeah, Russo's trash, right? This is all Russo's doing at this point. He's the one putting this together.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I really could be wrong, but
Yeah, I think I said this last pay-per-view, but it really so much of the vibe TNA puts off is like we're an indie show with a little bit of money, and we didn't really have a plan for this. So why don't you guys come together and figure out what we're gonna do for the show tonight? Yeah.
that's every indie show.
Yeah, except this isn't supposed to be.
No, it's not supposed to be.
Yo, I paid for 6 of your pay-per-views now, said some dummy.
Me today, because I am, in order to obtain this legally, like a moron. Segment 9, they recap the Styles-Lynn feud, bleeping out more curse words than before, like the words hell and damned, which make it seem way worse. Like as if Jerry Lynn said, shut the fuck up, or I'll be fucked if I'm gonna sit here and let you do that. Like, which is not what he said in either cases.
Yeah, but now like there's a little bit more oomph to this feud.
It's false.
This is smart advertising.
Yeah, it's manufactured fake oomph, but yeah, it is good. We go to a promo from earlier today as we see severe production issues, and the whole promo just starts over again.
Yeah.
Styles says he is ready to wrestle, but maybe a little bit too eager. Lynn says he remembers what that's like, so, maybe they're both at fault, but now they're on the same page.
Well, shucks, they're just some professionals.
Again, I wish Brother Scott was here to see how that feud from last week ended up, if you guys would agree about this.
We'll see. Because, maybe I can play devil's advocate and argue both sides, or maybe I'll just come to the conclusion that, wait a minute, now I'm just even more confused. Who knows? Let's find out.
Post-interview, commentary team pats Tenay on the back for what we just saw as women dance in cages. Because Tenay was doing a sit-down interview with them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Recap. 3 minutes, 7 seconds. Interview. 2 minutes, 23 seconds. Full segment, 6 minutes, 30 seconds. It was, if the meat of this was the earlier today promo, this was a terrible segment.
Yeah.
It was an awful, it felt like a bad NPR podcast. It was weird. It was awful.
And again, it's so bizarre to me that it's last show that they were beating the hell out of each other. Like, really, okay, we should be in full-on feud territory. And they're just like, well, shucks, it happens.
Yeah. Maybe he's a little wrong. Maybe I'm a little wrong. We'll mend the fence and come together.
Yeah, we both just have serious concussions after our big brawl last week.
Yeah. Overwhelming impulse control issues. It's normal. It's totally normal in this business. Segment 10, the NWA Tag Team title match. The Flying Elvises enter with all 3 members this week, with Jimmy Yang returning from his, quote, tour of the Orient. Sonny Siaki is on commentary, but we can't really hear him the entire match. I don't know who taught this guy how to use a headset, but it's gotta be, because Don gets back on and it's fine, so it's gotta be he doesn't know how to use the mic.
Not only does he not know how to use the mic, I also don't think he really, wants to be on the mic. He doesn't want to be doing it.
Yeah, he does kind of seem like he's not
into it. He's not.
Yeah.
His way of putting him over is just like, well, yeah, whatever. I'm Sonny Siaki. I'm the good one. Look at this guy. Look, Eric Estrada. He actually thinks he's Elvis. That's dumb, isn't it?
Yeah, but you right there just put more emotion into it than he did live. That's part of the problem. Is he seemed meek about it. For a guy who was talking specifically about himself,
yeah,
he didn't really seem too proud of that fact.
I don't know how to feel less dispassionate about this career than this guy does about his own career. He is trying to put himself over as the better one of the Flying Elvises, and he's putting his feet to sleep.
It was bad, yeah. So he mentions while he's on commentary that there's no competition in TNA for him, so he just won't wrestle. And I want to point out that there is an insane amount of NWA TNA wrestlers that don't want to wrestle.
Well, I mean, just imagine if you could just show up every week, not do anything, and get a big fat paycheck.
Actually, yeah, to be fair, a lot of these wrestlers were WCW wrestlers who did exactly that, yeah.
What do you mean? I showed up for 4 years and they paid me every week and I didn't have to wrestle.
I made a career out of that. Fucking 4 decades. I showed up, I pointed at the crowd, I dropped an elbow, and I went home. $1 million. What do you mean? I don't know if it's me, if I'm tired, or if it's just factual, but I'm not having fun hearing Tenay and Ed argue. Just the way they do. I don't know. Usually when commentary teams argue, there's this fun back and forth, but with them, there's a tension.
I really don't enjoy the commentary team.
No. And then it gets weird, like, stuff just, like, falls apart, and then Tenay starts to be, like, the heel, almost, because Siaki accidentally says the word hair dude instead of hair dude. Yo, Tenay drags that into other segments. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
This is my chance. Finally, I get to do the ribbon. You're in my territory.
So halfway through the match, or maybe even the start of the match, where the crowd just dies. They're just dead.
Yeah.
It's like a cafeteria. There is unintelligible, mindless chatter, undirected laughter. It sounds like stock audio. It was creepy. I have here commentary gets so bad that I just start ignoring them because it's awful. One of the highlights is that Jerry Lynn does the Pee Wee Herman tequila dance on the apron and the crowd laughs.
Yeah.
That's a highlight because the crowd made noise. Hot tag to Jerry Lynn and the crowd chants Jerry. Again, not really his chant.
No, it's just a chant that they're familiar with.
Like USA. It's just mindless chanting.
I was surprised at one point, Jimmy Yang, he's really, I feel like, doing the most in this match of everything. Doing the most, taking the most bumps, whatever. But at one point he does like just a dipsy-do clothesline reversal, and that gets a pop from the crowd. Like, literally, he's coming off and just like, whoop, dipsy-do's under a line, like, oh.
Yeah, like Rikishi style.
Yeah.
That's the classic. Yeah. Siaki pushes his team. He gets off a commentary, pushes his team out of the way. AJ Styles lands onto Jerry Lynn over the top into the outside, and then Jerry Lynn just starts bleeding everywhere. The most blood I've ever seen in my life for a match that really didn't need it, and it didn't get over any better because of it.
This spot is like such the perfect metaphor for like all of TNA.
Yeah.
Because they do this spot where, they do the 1-2-1-2 spot where it's like dive, 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 dive. And now it's all the flying Elvises outside. Jerry Lynn's holding them. AJ's gonna dive, right? Sonny Siaki comes, pushes the flying Elvises, so AJ connects with Jerry Lynn. We've already got the feud building.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. And it's like, oh my God, what a brilliant, like, Sonny Siaki's not interfering.
Yeah.
Right? He's moving his teammates out of the way. Oh, we get the miscue, and now what makes it TNA is immediately Sonny Siaki then interferes in the match by walking by and stomping Jerry Lynn.
Yeah.
In plain sight of the ref, which the ref should immediately then just go, oh, now it's a disqualification.
Not interested.
And then Jerry Lynn is just unnecessarily bleeding and just a total mess.
A lot.
Like, a lot. Like, gigged way too hard for what should have... It was a brilliant spot by itself.
Yeah. It could have been a great end.
Yeah, and a brilliant finish, and then they're like, yeah, but... we're not trying to tell a story here.
No,
we're trying to do shit.
This guy has to be angry this week.
Yeah. Oh God. I genuinely what a great spot. And then they immediately were like, yo, fuck you for being invested in our product.
Yeah, because right after that, we get the event Omega by the Flying Elvises, but they just don't even go for a pin.
Well, AJ's not the legal... They do all that and then slide the not legal man, AJ, in. Do all this stuff to him and then just go, let's just putter around until the finish. God.
So, Lynn goes back in the ring, gets kicked out again from the ring. Styles goes for Styles Clash. Or no, goes for the spiral tap.
Mm-hmm.
But Lynn hits his tope guillotine leg drop through the rope thing. And then he hits a slingshot splash, the inside, gets the 3. And Styles is just on top going, I was going to do a thing, y'all.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the match. Match length, 16 minutes, 17 seconds. Post-match length, 58 seconds. And segment length is 19 minutes and 5 seconds. Your thoughts?
Yeah, again, outside of that one individual spot, like, I don't really understand what anybody's position in the feud is anymore.
No.
Because originally Jerry Lynn was upset at AJ being a young upcoming hot dog, just getting all the glory for himself. But now it seems like that AJ's getting mad at Jerry Lynn for that. And we had the big miscue spot and then just did nothing with it.
Yeah, I mean, it still seems like Jerry Lynn is in the right because he was the legal man. He went for the pin. He got the win. And then Jerry
Yeah.
Lynn's like, bullshit, I wanted to hit my finisher. That's not cool.
I get it.
Like that's what that match was about. I don't know how well it fits into the rest of the feud. I mean, it
Yeah.
still does because it still makes Styles seem like, well, I wanted to hit my moves. What about me? I got to get my stuff in, yo.
Yeah,
I get famous.
I guess if they're building AJ as the heel, it's just,
That's kind of what it seems like, but also it kind of doesn't. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Jerry Lynn with the whole, you punk, I'm going to tell Goldilocks to suck it. And
I feel like we just, like, this was a wasted week. We already had them fighting, and now we're resetting it just to, like, build up exactly to where we already were.
But they switched it because last week Jerry Lynn was the heel, and now this week, clearly AJ Styles is the heel.
So how do you come to blows and, like, trading finishers and then just suddenly, like, reset, do it again, take it from the top, and we'll run through the next couple weeks again?
Yeah, I don't know. And you can't even scrap anything from it because commentary was trash. So they weren't even telling a story, especially because when they maybe when they tried to tell a story, the other guy was telling his story about how good he was. And then commentary was fighting itself because Ed, he kept going along with the Sonny Siaki. Like, Sonny Siaki's great. I love this guy. And I'm like, but Don's not here, so he's not helping. And
yeah. Like so much of TNA, there's just so much going on, and there's no clear story or direction. Like everybody's pulling their own way.
I don't know, man. The match was they're good wrestlers. They're great wrestlers, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
At all. I don't know if it's because it was a 19-minute segment. So 20 minutes is just too long for a lot of matches. A lot
Yeah.
of things just can't go 20 minutes. But then at the same time, it's like, well, they're doing a wrestling that I'm not 100% into. They're doing, I had to look it up. They're doing Odo Puro style wrestling, which is just a lot of like big smash moves, and then they like go, I did it, and like it's just, but there's not enough like pander to the crowd where the Southern styles. So it's a bit of a mess. Like they're trying to mash styles, but they haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I mean, I really wasn't crazy about the match. Like I said, I feel like Jimmy Yang did a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the bumps and, like, in terms of the flashiest stuff, the best looking stuff. But, like, really, the story is just, there is no consistent story that I can follow. I don't know who I'm rooting for. At least last week, Brother Skylar and I could come to it. Like, now I don't even know what anybody's position is.
Yeah. I guess now you gotta watch next week to figure it out.
Yeah, now I gotta watch next week to figure out how they're gonna invalidate this week.
Right, yeah. They both have a sister that they love very much, and she's in danger. They gotta save her.
Oh boy.
Something awful. Segment 11. Disco Inferno is sitting on furniture from the 70s or the average home on Long Island.
Yeah.
And probably the rest of the U.S. at the time. Inferno lists a series of accomplishments, all of which are false. Not a single one of them were real.
Okay.
I looked up some of them. What was it? He said he beat Barry Horowitz on TV nearly 16 times. I looked into it. He beat him 5 times. They only fought him 6. Like,
ooh, that's nearly 16.
6 is near 16. You got 6 right in it.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, he's like, what else can I accomplish in this business? I'll tell you what, I'm here to teach. Teach AJ Styles to be a superstar, Ken Shamrock to have a personality, Jerry Lynn to look younger, and Jeff Jarrett and the rest of Tennessee to speak English instead of hillbilly, which strangely gets a pop.
Yeah. Yeah, you teach us how to speak right.
He closes with announcing his hottest and first ever talk show on pay-per-view, Jive Talkin'. Segment length. Get ready. Light it up. 4:20.
Yeah, there it is.
baby. 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Yo, my thoughts are I don't care. I actively do not care about this.
But yeah, it's another guy showing up, not doing work, and getting a paycheck. He's here to cut a promo about a promo. He's cutting a promo for a promo he's going to do next pay-per-view.
Yeah. It's a soft promo.
Yeah.
It's like a soft opening for a casino. This is a soft promo. This is one of the things that makes me believe that Russo's on the commentary, on the writing team, because this is one of Russo's guys. This is one of those guys you're like, why is this guy here? Oh, because the writer loves him. He fucking loves him. Segment 12, Shamrock walks up to Ian Harrison guarding the room with NWA security trapped inside. Ken asks Ian if Shamrock was here. Ian says, I think so, and I think he was looking for you. And Ken Shamrock says, well, he better hope I don't find him. Full segment length, 8 seconds. My thoughts are, how big is this arena? How can they not find each other? I refuse to believe they're looking that hard.
So my thoughts, and I just want to say this to clearly establish the timeline.
Yeah.
Shamrock in the room, leaves the room, barricades the room, traps security, leaves the Brit in charge. Jarrett comes, finds the Brit. Shamrock in there. Oi, toss off, eh? Leaves. Shamrock comes back. Hey, Brit, is Jeff Jarrett? Oh, he was, but now he's gone, he is. And then Shamrock leaves. But we're still at the room, guarded by the Brit. Security is still trapped inside, correct?
Yes.
Great.
I'm pretty sure I know where you're going with this, and I can't wait because yep. Segment 13, Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger versus the Alpha Male, Monty Brown and Elix Skipper. Have you watched TNA recently? Like Impact?
Bits and pieces.
No, I cannot. Have you seen the Swingers Palace bit where they're like, yeah, Jack Daddy, welcome to my casino and all that stuff?
No.
I can't believe this is the same guy.
Oh, really?
It's the same guy. He's got a different, he's bald now and stuff. He's got like a fanny pack and he's all like, I don't know, roided up. He's got more muscles than he looks like he does here. And he's got a totally different gimmick, but he's still Johnny Swinger. And it's just like, I can't believe how...
He's still making money at this.
Wrestling is weird.
Yeah.
So Tenay throws Elix Skipper and the Canadian Football League under the bus in order to put over Monty Brown and his NFL career.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you may have heard this guy plays whatever he thinks football is, but Monty Brown played with the real football players, Carolina and the Jaguars. Like,
yo, are you here to put over wrestling or the NFL?
The Super Bowl, the Wembley Stadium. The match starts and the crowd is dead. Or, at the very least, cheering for Swinger and Diamond.
Yeah.
Skipper does a Matrix-style backwards bend that was so popular at the time. But the crowd pops harder for the illegal man clotheslining Skipper afterwards.
Honestly, so did I.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of was like, oh yeah, all right.
The crowd wakes up for a double-team flatliner to Skipper. But a miscommunication by Swinger and Diamond leads to a Northern Lights and a double down. Hot tag to Monty Brown. The crowd doesn't care.
Yeah.
Monty Brown gorilla presses Swinger into Diamond, and the crowd is almost reluctant to cheer.
Yo. They hate that they gotta cheer for this guy.
Yes.
And Monty Brown is so good.
He is.
Yo.
He's so good.
So rarely do you have someone come from outside of wrestling and get it.
Yeah.
But, like, Monty Brown fucking gets it, man.
He gets it.
Like, I know he hasn't been wrestling this long at that point, but he has, his jabs are so much better than probably, like, 95% of the jabs I see out there in all of wrestling.
Yes. Yeah. Another double team move puts Skipper out of the ring, who pulls Swinger out of the ring and lets the Alpha Male hits the Alpha Bomb, gets the 3. Post-match, Skipper and Brown hug. But the Truth enters and beats down Monty Brown, and Skipper kind of puts his hands back, goes, all right, brother, and leaves. The Truth hangs Monty Brown over the ropes, but decides to let him go, and Monty leaves on his own. Match length, 5 minutes and 36 seconds. Post-match segment, 1 minute 10 seconds. Full segment length, 11 seconds and 57 seconds. No, 11 minutes and 57 seconds. My thoughts were, I think the crowd's racist.
Oh, just the crowd? Not also the booking staff? Who are like, let's see, we need a tag match. We'll take this established ECW tag team and 2 black guys. Come on, you're a tag team.
Yeah.
Oh, and what's the storyline gonna be? Well, 2 black guys, and then there's a 3rd black guy who has a problem, and I don't know, you guys figure it out. Like, you know, and look, this is something WWE, I'm pretty sure, is still guilty of to this day, where they're like, let's put all of the same minorities in one match, keep them to contain together.
Yeah.
But, like, yo, people who doubt the racism in America, just watch, like, pop culture from the time. You're like, oh, that's right. It was the early 2000s, and, like, the major wrestling company in the South is like, well, let's just keep the black people together in one match, and you can tell the crowd really does not want to cheer for them.
Right. Because it was that time.
Because it was that time.
It was that time. And then let's make Kofi Kingston be Jamaican.
Yeah.
And then let's make... Actually, I don't even watch enough wrestling to know.
Yeah,
They got a new guy doing a new gimmick with an accent, and I'm like, I don't know if that's probably knowing their track record, that's a fake accent from a guy who's not from that part of the world, he's never even been there.
No, he was born in Illinois. He was born on a cow farm.
Yes.
And you gave him a Caribbean accent.
Segment 14. Goldilocks is with Stan and Bowed Up, and she warns them not to be gross in any way or she will leave. Stan calls Bo what I have recently heard referred to as gamer language when he calls him a retard.
Oh,
Gamer language. They mention their father, Popped Up, who will fuck anything that walks, including animals, and Fluff, which they accidentally left her at home, and that's why they mention it. Stan and Bo suggest that bumping into someone will get them into a fight because they haven't been wrestling and they want one. It works on Goldie, however, they decide they should try it on a man instead. They try it on that fruitcake, Ian Harrison, and it works, and they take it to the ring. Segment length, 2 minutes, 13 seconds. Your thoughts?
Yo, I don't want to see any more of the Dups.
Done, right?
Yeah,
Don't care.
I'm so over this. It doesn't even feel like a gimmick.
Right? I don't
Like,
even know.
I don't think they're into it. They don't want to be doing it.
Well,
I don't believe that they're into the characters.
I mean, it is Bo's gimmick because he did it in ECW with different people.
Oh.
And he's the only one that they brought. It was like 3 other guys or 2
Yeah.
other guys, and he was the only one that lasted that long with the gimmick.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody else was like, nah, I'm good. Like, Jacked Up was like, I'm
This
leaving.
is stupid.
Yeah. Possibly, my only thought was, maybe that's a kayfabe answer to my kayfabe question, which was, who was Sabu supposed to wrestle that week? Remember, he was supposed to wrestle and then he didn't have a match?
Oh,
maybe it was supposed to be one of the Dubs, which is, how come nobody wants to wrestle us? You know, maybe that's what it was. Probably not.
No.
Segment 15, Jeremy Borash starts to announce the next match, but the Dups enter and tell him to announce Bo versus some big muscle guy from the back. The crowd laughs.
Yeah.
Which is not...
Yeah. Not the kind of laugh you want your crowd to do.
No.
It's like sometimes where you go to an indie show and like the announcer's trying to like make the crowd pop by telling jokes. It's not your fucking job.
No.
Your job's not to make people laugh. Your job's to get shit over.
Get it? Yeah. Just hype it up. Get
Yeah.
people excited. Tell them there's a piñata in the ceiling and it'll only break with sound vibrations. And if they scream loud enough, it'll pop open.
Yo, if you idiots can get this applause meter past, oh man, woo!
I would tell someone, but then I would be in charge of getting the candy each week, and I don't want that. So, yo, but that would work. I know. Yo, like $5 worth of well, it'd be more like $10 worth of candy. Actually, probably more like 20. Candy's got surprisingly expensive these days. But like, yeah, like good, like $15, $20 worth of candy.
Yo,
you
imagine just filling it with bad grandma candy. it finally breaks it. It's like, oh, peppermints. What?
That's how you get a heel over.
I know.
That's how you get a heel over. Patent pending. Nobody steal this. I'll probably cut it all out. Didn't make any sense anyway. Stand Up goes to commentary, and Don gives him his headset. Great.
Yeah.
And the match starts with Bo attacking, and the crowd immediately turning on Ian and chanting USA, USA, USA. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Stan shouts, "Crikey!" Which, that's hilarious. It's the wrong country. This is just, oof. It's not good. It's not good. After a few minutes, Ian hits a power slam, and Stan hurriedly leaves commentary to attack Ian, and Ian wins by DQ. Post-match, Ian knocks Stan down and out of the ring, and then Bo goes to attack Ian with a wooden board, but Ian catches it mid-swing and breaks it in half over his knee. Bo and the rest of the Dupps run away. Match length, 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Post-match, 45 seconds. Full segment length, 6 minutes. My thoughts were, outside of the USA chants against Ian, the presumed face of this match, the crowd was dead.
Yo, so dead. I can't believe there wasn't a boring chant.
That's the thing. It was embarrassing dead. Like, they
Yeah.
weren't even, like, trying to rile themselves up. Like,
Yo.
they were like, y'all see who was on TV last night? Like, they immediately checked out. They were done. Like,
Yo, these guys aren't even worth heckling, for real.
real, yo.
Like, I caught this rerun of Law and Order last night, and like, look, we all know sometimes it's on, and you just start watching, and it's like, oh wait, it's 2 kids, and one of them was the murderer, but it's really their brother who was covered up. Oh, it was brilliant. I enjoyed it. Wait, oh, the match is done? All right, great. Let's get to the main event.
Yeah. Yeah, just another week of, are the Dupps over or not? I don't know.
And, like, really, I know at the beginning they introduced, like, oh, here's the Iron Brit who's a friend of Ken Shamrock. Like, this genuinely feels like, hey, this guy's a friend of Ken Shamrock's, and Ken Shamrock said he's not going to work the show unless we give this guy something to do, pay him, and give him a match.
Yeah.
That's, all right, fine. Squeeze him in and give him a 3-minute match against somebody who else isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Total waste of time. Did you look up this guy, Ian Hamilton? I did, because I was like, who is this?
No, I think he's like an MMA fighter or something, right? Or what is he?
He was like a big bodybuilder, like Mr. Universe or whatever,
Right.
and then someone was like, hey, you should try wrestling. And of course, he's like, oh, great, I'll try wrestling. And what is it? He got picked up for XWF and like, yeah, worked for them when, they didn't have a TV contract. They were like hoping to maybe get a TV. And he was a big deal there. And like, they were trying to make him a homegrown star.
No.
And then from what I researched, he wrestled this match and then never again.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That was.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Imagine like you're a bodybuilder, you get all the satisfaction of like you train and then you go to the competition and you at least get to flex in front of a crowd, and like here it's like stand in front of this door for 45 minutes and then go out and have a shit match where the crowd doesn't even acknowledge you're there. Right, I'll get back to my old trolley and lift back home.
I quit too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I didn't know it could get that bad. I don't feel like doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not that into it that I want to do it after that.
Yeah. I am not desperate for money that bad.
No. Segment 16. We send it back to Goldie, but we only see Jeff Jarrett, who unbarricades the door that's holding back NWA security now that it is no longer being guarded by Ian Harrison. Inside, Ken Shamrock attacks Jeff Jarrett as security and Apollo try to break them apart. Jeff Jarrett screams, "Where's my damned belt?" Don Harris says, "Ken, we tried your way, now we do it my way. You take care of your title, I'll take care of business back here." Segment length, 39 seconds. I'm sure that your thoughts are the same as mine, so go ahead.
Yo, so Ken Shamrock left the room, barricaded it, and then when Jeff Jarrett opened that door...
Because I'm inside.
Ken Shamrock was inside like a cartoon character the whole time. Woo! Unbelievable. Not only was Ken Shamrock inside, Apollo was also inside.
No, I rewatched that. The camera goes in and then turns around, so he comes in through the out. That's that, Ken Shamrock. I watched frame by frame. Ken Shamrock is crouching behind one of the security guards, so cameras don't see him, but you can vaguely see his ear behind another person's head, and then he pops out of nowhere, and you're like, "Oh, that was a good camera trick."
I checked the tape. Ken Shamrock is a cartoon character. Yeah. Apollo just came from behind.
No, Apollo used the door like a normal human being.
Yeah. You ever seen Ken Shamrock? Like, sometimes he's carrying a ladder, and he's, like, walking, and he's one half of the ladder, and then he walks, and then, like, suddenly the other half of the ladder comes, and it's Ken Shamrock carrying that half, too? Yo!
Ken Shamrock is amazing in ways I didn't know were possible.
This is a rib, right? Like, everybody cut, and everyone's like, ha ha ha. Do you think anybody realized Ken Shamrock locked the door and was in there the whole time?
Yeah, I don't even know, like, especially because, like, the implications, like, beyond that are also, like, horrifying, because if you looked, that room that they were fighting in was very clearly the ticket booth room.
Yeah.
Which was also very clearly, like, it had a door that had sunlight behind it.
Yeah.
So was there only one entrance to the building? What do you mean they couldn't get in or out? Is there no other door in the entire building?
Not that way.
That's also bad, because I don't know if you noticed it, that door opened in. Not out for, like, fire reasons like it's supposed to. Yo, yeah. That was the most amazing... This whole episode was almost worth it for that amazing piece of cartoon work by Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
Just appearing there.
All those segments. And the payoff is, no, Ken Shamrock was behind the door that he locked the whole time.
The payoff is Ken Shamrock's a wizard. Who would have thought? I really thought it was going to be James Mitchell was the wizard.
No.
Turns out it's Ken Shamrock. Turns out it's everyone he's fighting. Ken Shamrock, Sabu. Jeff Jarrett could just show up. He's got the power to just tie men up and leave them in, like, blue lit areas. Like, what powers did everybody that they fight have? All right, it is time for the main event, which means it is time for the best hour.
Our favorite hour?
Our favorite hour! The Troy McClure Hour. Oh, hello there, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such terribly mismatched combinations as 1 if by helicopter, 2 if by subterranean drilling machine, or fire and ice. If there's smoke, there's water. Today, we're here to talk about no matter how bad you think things will go, it can always get worse.
Oh, yeah.
All right. It's been a while we're actually doing a career retrospective. It's not just guys we've already seen. So here we go. Sabu began his career in 1985 for Big Time Wrestling, a promotion owned by his uncle, the Sheik, also known as the original Sheik, or the Arabian Sheik, if you will, as opposed to the Iron Sheik, who might also be known as the Iranian Sheik. Sabu wrestled under the name Sabu the Elephant Boy.
Oh.
He had 3 WWE tryouts in 1993 against Scotty 2 Hotty and Owen Hart. He became famous for his... Well, outside of the that makes it sound like it was in the tryout, but outside of that tryout,
yeah.
He became famous for his scars that he received from over 24 no-rope barbed wire death matches while in the promotion Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, known as FMW. You can find this on YouTube. He also competed in a Ring of Fire death match where the ropes were replaced with barbed wire and then wrapped in gas-soaked fabric, where 10 seconds into the match, the Sheik, the original Sheik who was also in the match, threw a lit 2x4 out of the ring towards the crowd. 15 seconds into the match, the crew lit the ring on fire, and 70 seconds after the match starts, the wrestlers bail on the ring and start throwing buckets of water at it because the fire's too hot. Too hot. 2 minutes into the match, the ring crew has fire extinguishers and the wrestlers are deep in the crowd because it's too hot to stand near.
Yo.
3 minutes into the match, refs throw the match out and the fire is so hot that the lighting ring above the ring is shaking. The video ends before the fire does.
Wow.
Yeah, at the end they actually try to cut the barbed wire off the rope so it can sit in puddles of water. That still doesn't do anything. It got bad.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
So, yo, go for it, man. So Sabu makes his ECW debut in late 1993, where he was fired / left for New Japan Pro Wrestling in mid-1995, and then returned to ECW later in late 95. After ECW's collapse, Sabu toured hardcore promotions, including returning to FMW. He also took part in the short-lived WWA promotion feuding with Devon Storm, which leads us to last week when Sabu debuted for the Malice vs. Sabu ladder match, which was very clearly being called by Devon Storm.
Remember that time where Malice had the number 1 contendership shot and James Mitchell definitely could have had the opportunity to capture the NWA championship?
Just gave it away.
Gave it away.
Because blood is more important than appeasing his god, who may or may not also be him. Ken Shamrock debuted in 1989 in Nelson Royals, North Carolina-based Atlanta Coast Wrestling Promotion under the name Wayne Shamrock. In 1990, he joined the Japanese shoot-style promotion Universal Wrestling Federation, or UWF, where he instantly became popular. In 1993, Ken Shamrock, Masakatsu Funaki, and Minoru Suzuki formed the MMA wrestling hybrid promotion Pancrase? Pancrase?
I think it's Greek, like some kind of Greek.
So I don't even know how to say it?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Pancreas hybrid wrestling. Where real strikes and holds were used, but the matches were predetermined, which kind of means that the strikes and holds...
It's the worst of all worlds.
Were pointless.
Yo, beat the shit out of each other, and it's for nothing.
Shamrock appeared at the UFC Ultimate Fighting Championship pay-per-views 1 through 9, and after a falling out with the Pancreas management, not what their name is, he left for the UFC full-time in 1996. However, after the fallout from UFC 9, Shamrock moved to the WWF in 1997. He feuded with members of the Hart Foundation and DX in his first year and won the King of the Ring and the Intercontinental title in his second year, after turning heel and joining Vince McMahon's corporation, of course. Which happened because Vince McMahon offered him a family.
Oh.
Yes. In 1999, Shamrock's kayfabe sister began sleeping with various members of the WWF mid-card, and Shamrock did not approve.
Oh, what was Ryan Shamrock?
Yeah, that's who Alicia is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Although, yeah, no, they're not sister. But
Yeah.
Not happening now. Not kayfabe only. In late 1999, Chris Jericho's bodyguard, Mr. Hughes, kayfabe injured Ken Shamrock out of the company, which allowed Ken Shamrock to resume MMA. Shamrock refereed an ROH match for Bryan Danielson and Low-Ki in March of 2002, and in May signed a 1-year contract with the NWA TNA. And that's how he got here. Here we go. Segment 17. Sabu enters, and we replay how Sabu got into this situation, which was that Jeff Jarrett had a title shot. He was made to forfeit it. James Mitchell and Malice opened that matchup to anyone, and so Sabu answered and won. Once again, what a fool, James Mitchell.
Smart move, Mitchell.
What a fool. Enter Ken Shamrock, and he gets booed.
Yeah.
Like heavily.
Yeah.
Here we go, ladder versus submission. Ed wonders if Sabu even knows how to tap out. Tenay lets us know that when Don Harris said that he's going to do security his way, what he meant was that he's going to form a union and strike. Because TNA security has quit. And he also accidentally tells us, oh, this is like one of those. I think this is more like a Don West. Not a Don West, more like an Ed Ferrara storyline than I think, because he's like, oh, you just told us that you get your information here from Goldilocks. You let that slip, huh? Now we know. And it's like, I don't care. Like,
yeah.
who are you putting over right now, Ed? Ed explains how much fighting with a broken nose hinders you. Don says it sounds like a voice of experience. So Ed threatens to break Don's nose. Yo, what is Don's problem?
Yeah.
Get this guy out of here. The NWA is sending 50-year-old Ricky the Dragon Steamboat to be the authority next week.
That'll solve it.
That'll solve it. 50-year-old man, he'll solve everything. 6 minutes into this match, and the ladder finally comes into play, followed by a dancer's cage.
Oh, yeah.
Triple jump flip to what seems like a completely empty table on the outside for Sabu.
My favorite part about this is, first of all, the first, 6 minutes, total dog shit.
Yeah.
This fucking match is hard. It's literally, the Ken Shamrock's like, I'm going to get you in a submission. Sabu's going to go, I got the ropes. You got to let go. All right, well, I'm going to grab you in a submission. Yeah, but I got the ropes. You got to let go. And that's all it is for 6 minutes. Finally, we get this spot. Shamrock's up on the table. Sabu sets up the chair, goes, runs. Wait! I got to point at the sky first.
Yeah.
All right, now
I can jump.
He literally backpedals back to the starting position so he can point and then take off again. And it was so great. And again, by the time he gets there, totally empty. Eats shit.
Yeah. So Shamrock climbs the ladder and puts his hands on the title. And music hits and the lights go out, but then lights come back on and then Malice runs out from the back. I don't know if that was what was supposed to happen or what. I presume not, but Malice chokeslam Shamrock off of the ladder, and then he takes the title, and the show goes off the air with Malice posing with the title on the ramp as commentary calls him a thief.
And it just abruptly ends too. Does it? Hey, he's a thief, and cut to black. We're done.
Cut to black. Hey, he came in, chokeslam, grabbed the title, and then boom, he's up the ramp with the title. And they're going, he's a thief! A thief! He's a thief! A thief!
I don't know how Ken Shamrock, you remember that infamous chokeslam Hogan took from The Undertaker? Just super barely got off the ground.
Yeah.
Somehow Shamrock took one of those from Malice.
From the ladder.
Yeah. I didn't understand.
Yeah. It was, there's a lot of confusion here.
Yeah.
I was confused about a lot of this.
Yeah.
Recap length was 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Match length was 9 minutes and 32 seconds, although there was no bell to end the match, so I just called it when Malice took the title. I think the ref should have called the bell for the minute or whatever. Full segment length, 12 minutes, 40 seconds. Yeah, my thoughts are surprisingly, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was still really bad.
Yeah, no, this is really...
I somehow thought it was going to be worse than this, but...
I just, who is paying these...
Mistake makers.
Yeah, for real.
Professional mistake makers.
I mean, if you think Ken Shamrock is a draw, and you know, it's for his, crazy MMA, he can do anything submission, there's nobody in the universe who would think, yeah, he could have a good match with Sabu. Submission versus ladder.
No, apparently
and the
not.
ladder is not even looked at for the first, until we're just about ready to go home.
Yeah.
Until we're just about ready,
oh, yeah.
for the end of the match.
It was mostly a submission match. A submission match featuring a ladder.
And awkward, because Sabu he doesn't sell. I noticed, apparently, my biggest issue is watching people sell. I hate how most people, I hate how Brian Lawler sells. I hate how Low-Key sells.
It usually works for hardcore wrestlers like that because what they just took is so impressive that the fact that they're standing is amazing, and they don't necessarily need to sell beyond just a vague limp.
Yeah.
Because there's so much chaos. It's I'm not paying attention to the way he limps. I'm paying attention to the fact that he went head first through a table and got the fuck up. But when you're not doing that, yeah, your selling's very apparent.
When the guy works your knee and then you just get up and you're hunched over and you're grabbing your stomach.
Yeah.
all the time. That's yourself.
Because you went through a table.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you fell off a ladder. Yeah, that's all you need to sell. Ah!
Oh, my internal organs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, dude. I mean, that's fine if you're falling off stuff.
Right.
But when the guy's working your foot,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my organs.
It's not how it is. When one nerve hurts, they all hurt, right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
When you fall off a ladder through a table on the concrete, sure.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what you thought was going to happen from this. But this is the last time that we see Sabu wrestle.
Oh.
That's it. There's not going to be any fallout from this.
Wow.
Or at least, because, I mean, I can't imagine Sabu.
I'm here. I got my title shot. The guy who I wanted from ruined it. Whatever. I'm done.
I didn't really earn that anyway. See ya. I had a shot. I lost it. Oh, well. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, boy. Now I'm supposed to... You want me to figure out how to make another show out of this one?
I know, yeah. All right, so...
Yo.
Bell to 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 bell. 53 minutes and 22 seconds. Surprisingly, again, during this hour and 53 minute and 22 second show, how do they do it so well? Although I will point out that there is about a minute and 30 removed between the new streaming version and the actual pay-per-view cut.
Oh.
But it's all just bullshit, like
yeah.
post-match, like Don and Ed talking way too, like putting stuff over more than it needs to be put over.
Okay.
Or just like, like we talked about last week, this guy's going to walk away from the camera and we're not going to cut. You're like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my show thoughts were, it kind of started out good-ish, and then immediately just crashed into the ground. I have no clue what this crowd likes.
Yeah.
They seem to turn on wrestlers mid-match twice. Like, they hated them, then they liked them, then they hated them, then they it was like these guys were just having fun. They were just glad to be out of the house.
I can't believe, like, this... We're at show 6, and I'm like, oh, I just assume this company's probably going to be shutting its doors within like 10 or 12, right? We can't have that many more pay-per-views left, right? With the way this company is running.
That way, yeah.
I mean, think of it this way. I feel like there are so many people involved in the show who don't work, who they're just there for a free paycheck. Jeff Jarrett doesn't have a match this show.
Right.
Just, the promos. You have Sonny Siaki is just showing up on the sidelines for the Flying Elvises.
Right.
You have whichever of the Dups didn't wrestle is just showing up. And then even,
And they got rid of one of the Dups, too.
Yeah, and they got rid of one of the Dups. But, I mean, of the matches you do have, we've already established another roster, but you're bringing in Apollo, and, I've never seen that guy before, and honestly, I don't really want to see him again.
No, Apollo? He's one of the homegrown ones. He's good.
Really?
I think Apollo's... He's got the super good super kick, and I think he's showing potential.
You know what? I mean...
He's got
I want to see him against not Brian Lawler, because Brian Lawler is so bad.
No, that's, yeah.
And, Apollo seemed like a guy who was, green, and, Lawler's like, I'm not fucking having a match with this green kid. I'll do fucking 4 minutes and I'll be done. La la, here I'm dancing, roll me up, we're done.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. Was that you? Did you do that?
What?
Somebody fought. I think maybe it was Joey or somebody. They fought somebody who was just like, no, we're not going to do that. We'll just work the crowd. I'll give you a kick. You give me a kick and we'll go home. I was like, what? That's the match you want to work? Yeah, it'll get over. And it did, but it was still weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I guess they know what they're doing. And, but at the same time, I was just like, I can't believe. You didn't even sound enthusiastic when you said it. But these guys don't know. Whatever, man. That was your thoughts. Those were my thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Why would you make this then? Yeah, they are hemorrhaging money and they're trying to stay afloat. So they're getting rid of people left and right. They had a larger venue drop down to a smaller venue. There has to be no more than what? I'd say 200 is going high on an estimate.
200 would be high.
Yo.
And they pack out the camera side and it doesn't look that crowded.
And then they also need to stay competitive too, which is hard.
I wouldn't pay to watch any of this.
I don't like.
This is bad.
What are you charging? Like $30 to watch this show?
Look,
Who would see that?
You're not giving any.
Charge them $10.
You're not giving good hardcore wrestling.
No.
If you're looking for like good actual wrestling, like, you know, okay, you had the opener, Low-Key and Amazing Red, and then you had the one tag match.
Yeah.
But like, these are your TNA. These are your pay-per-views. You're not, you know, you don't have your Raw show and then the pay-per-view or like.
No.
This should all be your A content, and this all feels like it's all filler. It's all
That's what I mean.
throwaway.
Like, if you're charging people $30 for this, who's paying for that again?
Yeah.
So you, like, at this point, you gotta charge these people like $10 for this just to get them to come back.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, like, even $20, I'm like, I'm not coming back.
I'm not paying you. No.
No. 15,
maybe 10.
15 is really pushing it,
Yeah.
and I don't like enough guys for that. So you got 10 as a choice.
10 is okay because I'm gonna invite a friend over and we're gonna split it.
Right.
And then like $5, I don't have to feel good.
Nobody gives a crap. But yo, so like, but what are their options?
Yeah.
What are their options in a lot of cases? That's how I feel it is today too with a lot of indie wrestling. Like, you know, some indie shows you go to and it's like $30, and it's like, who the fuck is spending $30 on a wrestling show?
Yeah.
Or somebody, I was just looking online and somebody was like, WWE wants like $200 for like ringside house show seats, and it's like, it's a house show. And it's not even like front row, just rings, like floor. It's $200. It's like, shit. Like, and then I think the guy was saying like last year it was $100.
Yeah.
It's like, who's going to this? Who's paying that money?
Yo.
Who would do that?
Don't milk me because you guys like took a bath last year.
Some
like,
people are doing
well,
it. Some people they like to get milked.
Yeah.
They like it.
Oh.
It's nice.
Woo.
Ooh, can't fault them for that though.
Yeah.
Can't fault them for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that surprises me. Like when you hear that these shows are going on, you're like, oh, okay, and then you hear they're like $200 for a ticket. You're like, there's no way.
Nobody would pay for that.
Because
like,
first off, nobody goes to a wrestling show by themselves.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. So you already got your friends who are they're spending $200, and that's presuming you are trying to attract an audience of adults.
Yeah.
If you're trying to attract kids, yo, what adult is paying $500 for themselves and their kid?
Yeah.
God forbid they got more than one kid.
Woo.
Or a wife or a husband that's living off them or whatever.
I mean, odds are it's at least 2 kids because it's a kid and a friend, right?
Oh, man, yo, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I'm saying, man. These guys have to be charging nothing to get people in the door now.
Yeah.
It's gotta be like 10, low 10.
10, 15, maybe.
$10.99, fucking $9.99, no tax, just solid 10. You get a penny back when you pay. Like,
Woo.
all right, I don't even know if you can because I didn't have a lot myself. Can you guess the card?
I like maybe we're gonna set Monty Brown up against Truth.
Right, that makes sense.
And then other than that, I would say Jerry Lynn versus AJ.
But also maybe not.
But
yeah.
no, because they didn't. They came to blows, but they mended, and now, you know. I guess we're gonna see AJ defend his X Division title and have an issue. Maybe he loses his X Division.
Oh, he's got to defend that thing. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He's got to. So he's got to be in a match.
So
like that.
AJ in an X Division title match, and
Lynn cost him it somehow.
Yeah, somehow
totally accident. But
yeah.
You know, he comes out to help, and then he's like, "What are you doing here? I need you." And then there's a roll up or whatever. You know. Yeah.
During the match, Lynn's like, "Hey, AJ, your car's double parked out front. Did you want me to move it for you?" And that causes him to get distracted and rolled up.
What are you talking about, man? I don't own a car. Ah! Oh, I thought it was yours. I'm sorry.
That's right. You don't even have the car. That's my car out there that I have to live in, eating peanut butter sandwiches.
You know what it's like? Making toast on a car radiator. I don't think you could do that, Jerry Lynn. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, neither do you.
I mean, peanut butter sandwiches every night. Yeah, do you think your colon would let you? Like, I feel like maybe there's a vegetable in there once in a while, bro. Don't let me tell you how you're living your life, but yeah. But other than that, maybe Hot Shots versus Storm and Harris get a rematch.
Again?
But, yo, I didn't like the first
Yeah.
one. Yeah, and then I guess Shamrock versus Malice, so he can physically get his title back. Like,
Right, yes.
Even then, that's just like, whoa.
But even then, before the match, James Mitchell's going to be like, well, hold on.
Hold on. But if you can pick the right hand, you'll get it for free. Is it the hand of time? Oh, my riddle has been foiled.
My God loves when I do riddles.
Yo. Yeah, so maybe that'll be on the next show. A bunch of riddles. I mean, you'll definitely be confused like a riddle, I'll tell you that much, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, so hey, maybe join us for that. It could be fun. You don't know. All right, so once again, of course, please consider giving our show some sort of a like or 5-star review or sharing us with your friends or whatever it is they make you do now to prove we exist and are worth their time. Not that I want their time.
No.
To be honest, though.
No.
I'd like to be popular enough to decline advertisements. Can you help me achieve that? I'd really appreciate that. That'd be some power to look a company right in the eye and be like, no, I choose peanut butter. I choose to eat peanut butter because of my integrity. So, yeah, intro music is Falling Off Your Love by Kill Paris. And for the absent Brother Skylar, we miss you. And for... who are you? J Delta.
J Delta.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I gotta get that one checked out. So for Brother Skylar and J Delta, I am Jimmy Time. Please remember, without the mistakes of others, we'd be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts. The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.